Hello fans, we're here with the newest full-time VMI baseball assistant, Daniel Latham. Coach Latham's going to lead the pitching staff this season, and Coach, you're in charge of a staff that returns 15 of the 16 pitchers from last year, including the whole weekend rotation. What does it mean to have three veterans leading that rotation in Lopez, Farley, and Roberts?
You know, we're really fortunate to have a lot of experience returning in our pitching staff. You know, guys like Adam Lopez, Jason Farley, Sam Roberts, those guys, you know, kind of led the charge last year, especially in conference play, and, you know, gave us a chance to win every weekend. And, you know, I got to see it firsthand from the other side, from the other dugout last year, and, you know, those guys gave us fits all weekend, and, you know, it's really good to have those guys, and there's so much experience there, so, you know, so much savvy, and all those guys have thrown in big games and done it successfully, and it's good for our young guys to see.
All right. As you mentioned, you saw it from the other dugout last year, being at High Point. What did you see out of Adam Lopez that helped him transition into a Friday starter facing guys like Mayo and Evans from Coastal and Liberty?
Well, I mean, the first thing that stood out to me when we had to face Lopez last year is just his pure stuff. You know, the guy had legitimate Friday night stuff, and the Friday nights in our conference are only getting better. You know, there's a lot of velocity on Friday nights now. Everybody's got great starters. You know, that's kind of a good trend in our conference, and Adam fits right in with those guys. But you know, he struck me as being so competitive, and he just stayed poised the whole game. It was a close game the whole way, and you know, he just continued to compete, and his stuff actually got better in the later innings, and you know, and that's something that we're going to need him to do this year. And you know, last year he did a great job. You know, VMI I think was 10-4 in the games that he started, and that's, you know, that's a great tribute to, you know, to Adam and keeping those guys in games.
Right. Jason Farley, obviously the Saturday starter, and then Sam Roberts scheduled to be the Sunday starter. Mm-hmm. Is it possible we could see somebody come in and spell Sammy on Sundays to give him a break and let him focus more energy on hitting?
Sure. You know, Sam's one of the great players in our program history, and you know, he showed last year that he can handle playing shortstop every day, and he can handle being our Sunday starter as well, and did a great job at that. You know, we've got a lot of depth, and you know, we've got a lot of flexibility with our pitching staff. We got some really young arms that are coming along really good, and there's a possibility one of those guys early in the season might slip into there, and we might try some other things in our rotation, see what happens. You know, we just want to put our guys in the best chance to win. You know, when we play 5-game weeks, we want to put ourselves in a chance to win all of them.
Obviously, the starting staff not the only component. The bullpen also expected to be very strong this year. Guys like Watts, Garrett, and Devine. How does the coaching staff feel about being able to shorten the back end of games?
Oh man, what a great thing to have when you've got guys that are experienced at the back end of the bullpen. You know, Alan Watts is just coming on to be, you know, a guy, our hitters hate facing him in their squad every day. You know, those guys dread facing him, and you know, I think he's a big component, and you know, we look to him to kind of take an enhanced role from where he was in the last couple of years for us, and you know, really step up and kind of lead the charge for us, you know, in those middle innings. And then you got a guy like John Garrett who won 6 games as a freshman. You know, a lot of expectations for him, and you know, he's such a competitive kid that he won't have any problems with that. And then, you know, when you got a guy like Mike Devine at the end of the game. You know, that's a pretty confident feeling when you can roll that guy out there in the 8th or 9th inning, and you know, you can feel pretty confident that he's going to shut the game down. But you know, the biggest thing for us is more than those guys. You know, we're going to try to. We have so many quality arms, so we're going to try to establish, you know, some roles early on. And we have a lot of flexibility, and those roles can change. You know, we're going to need guys like Andrew Deal and Ryan Barefoot and Carter Rivera, Adam Krutoff. You know, some of those guys, you know, to really start coming. And then we've got some other guys like Travis Thomas and Joey Zarella, who's really coming on lately. You know, those guys, we're going to need big innings out of all those guys, and they all have experience. You know, they all have the ability to do it, and you know, we're going to need those guys to do it to be successful.
Now, in addition to the returners, you bring in a good class of freshmen, including lefty Campbell Hinkle, who we've heard a lot about. What can you tell us about the newcomers?
Well, you know, I'm excited about our freshman pitchers. You know, I think we have 3 guys that are going to help us. You know, we're fortunate to where we don't need those guys to come into these huge roles right away. They can kind of ease into it. We don't really have to throw them to the wolves. You know, Connor Bach, you know, he's a big, you know, 6'5" lefty, loose arm action, really athletic kid, two-way guy. You know, he's kind of coming to his own on the mound a little bit lately, and you know, he's going to, you know, continue to progress, continue to get better. You know, we got a guy like Ryan Ellis who's just, you know, a big-time competitor. The guy's fearless. You know, every time he rolls out on the mound, he doesn't care who he's facing. He goes right after guys, which is going to be great for us this year. And then, obviously, Campbell. We hear a lot about Campbell, and Campbell's kind of cut out of the mold a little bit of young Jason Farley. You know, similar stuff, similar, you know, pitchability, and you know, we look to him to be a big guy for us this year, and we think Campbell's going to have a huge year for us. So we're excited about him.
We look forward to seeing him and the rest of the Keydat pitching staff this season.
All right, thank you.